Yo, what up guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at a match between Tempo Blue Eyes, which I'm playing myself, and the new format BA, which Ben is playing. So I think I win the dice roll, yeah I do, and I get to go first. So generally Blue Eyes does not tend to go first, but in the variation that I'm playing at the moment it does. And you'll see specifically why that is just in a second. So I open pretty well, I have a terraforming in my hand. I pitch that and I'm going to grab Ravine here. I believe my board ends up with Crystal Wing and Spirit Dragon, and you'll see the combo just in a second here. So I'm going to activate Ravine. I'm looking at my hand, I think, yeah, Maleific Blue Eyes is in there, so that's pretty lucky. But Maleific Blue Eyes is at the heart of like a lot of high tempo combo plays. So opening that was pretty fortunate, but you can search that with Melody as well. So I banish Blue Eyes here. And I'm looking to make my first Spirit Dragon to tag that out for Ancient Fairy. So yeah, I've got the Sage in my hand, so I'm going to go ahead and search another combo piece here, which is going to be Maiden with Eyes of Blue. And the reason for that is because I'm going to tag my Spirit Dragon out for Mausoleum, and then I can normal summon that Maiden and then get her effect. So yeah, I'm adding the Maiden here. And yep, here we go. I'm going to synchro for Spirit Dragon right here. And my opponent's kind of shaking his head at this point. He's kind of like, wow, Jesus. Because BA really has a tough time with both Crystal Wing and Spirit Dragon. So, yeah, he knows what's coming. He's seen this before. So here, yeah, I believe I'm going to use Ancient Fairy Dragon's special summon effect to summon the Maiden. Oh, first I'm going to swap out my Terraforming and gain 1,000 life points. Yep. And grab Mausoleum, which is basically a searchable Brilliant Fusion. It's a really good engine. I'm kind of surprised that not too many people are playing the Terraforming with the field spells. Very toolboxy. So here, yeah, I activate Mausoleum. And special summon my Maiden in a second. I'm thinking because I got the White Stone of Ancients in my hand as well. Yep, special summon the Maiden and normal summon the White Stone. So it's a total of 3 tuners summoned in one turn, which is pretty strong. Yep, there's the Crystal Wing, and yeah. I think I'm about to make a misplay here. I add back the Maleific because I think I still have a Blue Eyes in deck, but in fact I have to send it with Mausoleum. I had in my mind that I wanted to make a Dark Matter and search out Alternative as well, but that's actually not possible. I'd need 4 Blue Eyes in that case. So yeah, minor misplay here, adding that Maleific back. Yeah, so send Blue Eyes to trigger Maiden's effect, and I'll bring that right back and make a Spirit Dragon. So this kind of board setup is going to stop any Tour Guide or Crane plays with the Crystal Wing, but then it's also going to stop any disruption with Farfar. This board is specifically quite weak to Regeki though, and Dark Hole, so I'm kind of like taking a bit of a bet here that my opponent doesn't have it. If he does, he could just Dark Hole me, and I couldn't actually respond in any way because I'd have to tag out my Spirit Dragon for Azure and it would miss its timing. So it opens up with Rubik here, which is pretty weak, and reveals Calcab, so I kind of know he's got a bit of a weak hand here, so I let that go through. I think a really important part of Blue Eyes, because you invest in such huge monsters, is to actually let your opponent just have all of their weaker plays and only stop things that actually hurt your board. So he goes ahead and mills 3, he hits Scum, that's no problem. If he doesn't make any big plays, I'm just going to negate that in the end phase with my Spirit Dragon anyway. So he's really looking for probably a Tour Guide to have in his hand to have any chance here. Although that would also be locked out with Crystal Wing, so it's definitely a hard board to break for BA here, without any mass removal. Using only one Sir as well is going to make it very difficult with to recur his boards with a Spirit Dragon on the field. So he's got the Crane here. He goes to use it, but I'm going to negate it with Crystal Wing, which is definitely a big problem for him. And that's it's a big blow. He's lost his normal summon here, so he doesn't have many plays here unless he has another 2 BAs in hand, or summon Beatrice. He's just going to go to end phase, but I'm going to negate that as well. Yeah, so a bit of a weak play here from BA, although didn't have much options available to him with the 2 lockout fields. So in my standby phase, I'm going to swap it out for Azure. Use the effect of being like a Blue Eyes. This is definitely kind of like it's a passive advantage to have Azure, so I would definitely recommend doing this. It also is protecting my Crystal Wing from any traps. So here's where I've kind of messed up. I've added that maleific back and it's really hurting me now. Fortunately enough, I kind of top decked the stones here, and I'm going to be able to bring back my Spirit Dragon with a Return of the Dragon Lords. I'm kind of fearing the Mirror Force a little bit here as well, so you'll see me kind of mess around with the battle position of Azure Eyes. I'm not sure if my opponent's playing Mirror Force, so I'm thinking I might just leave my Azure Eyes in defense. The main goal against BA is to just outgrind them in this kind of matchup because like they have so much recursion, you can't really OTK them through all their floaters. So it's just to like kind of like build your board up and make sure that they can't like have any of their effects. So here I'm just going to take out Dante, and my opponent's looking at his cards here, and he's quite smart with his chain links. He puts Calcab on 2 and Dante on 1, and with those chain links I can't actually negate Dante because you have to chain Crystal Wing and Spirit Dragon directly to the effect you want to negate, and since he orders his chain links in 1-2, I can't negate Dante. It's a really big thing in this matchup. You have to like be very good with your chain links if you're a BA player. You can really lock out Blue Eyes from a lot of like negation plays. I swing at him for 5,500 also, so definitely a big hit here, although he's going to have to draw a lot to top deck me here. I don't actually think that there's any one card which can get out of this problem because he's still got the Azure Eyes lingering effect on Crystal Wing, so he would only be able to destroy Spirit Dragon and Blue Eyes, and I have Return here, so it's definitely a very grim situation here. I'm also pointing out there that he won't be able to get a double summon effect with his Break Sword. It's another interesting interaction with this matchup. Generally, Break Sword can float for 2 Phantom Knights, although with Spirit Dragon on the field it cannot, and gets locked out of that, so no Break Sword effect at all. So it's definitely a very tough matchup for Burning Abyss. Looks like he just sets 2 and passes back to me though, so it's not looking good for BA here in this game 1. So yeah, I'm basically going to go into the red zone here with all my monsters, and I've kind of like sussed out that that wasn't a Mirror Force. If the new set is one though, I'm going to be very punished. It looks like it's just a Mask Change second though, so it's just a bit of a desperation play. He's just putting a bit of a wall up here, but I will actually be able to take the game here and close out game 1. Here is just deciding how much damage you take, but yeah, that's game. Okay, so on to game 2, BA is obviously opting to start. They don't want to be locked out of their field like they were in game 1. So he's definitely hoping for a good draw, and he starts off with Allure, which is actually an excellent card in BA now, because you can Levier back your Phantom Knights for an easy plus, which happens a lot now. So if you open Terratop and banished a Phantom Knight, he could just make a Levier back the thing, and then if he had boots, he could make a Dante that way and have a pretty nice board. But unfortunately, it opens up with 2 pretty useless BAs here, Barber and Rubik, so he can only make a Dante, but he's not going to hit anything at all on that either. He'll activate the Cagna though and send Traveler, just so that he can try and get some sort of win condition going here against Blue Eyes. If he has a BA in hand, he'll be fine though with Beatrice. Although he does have Crane here, which is quite powerful. He'll be able to make another Dante. Unfortunately, there's just not many good Burning Abysses in Grave. Now that Sir's hit to 1, it is quite difficult to build the boards you used to be able to. And once your Sir's in there, if you can't make another Dante, it's gone forever, which is a pretty big hit to the archetype in general. He still doesn't hit any good Burning Abysses, so he's really looking to hit a Farfar or Sir, Graph, or Scam, so he can add that back and have kind of plays on his turn following, but he doesn't hit anything like that, so he just sets 1 and passes. So it looks like I opened with Terraforming again, which is exactly what you want in Blue Eyes. It's just basically like your big search spell. It tutors the whole deck. You can send White Stones, you can send you can add tuners, so basically yeah, it just gets you to what you need. So here I'm just cutting Blue Eyes, which might seem like a bit of an unusual play, but you can see there I had Brilliant Fusion in my hand, so I'm going to be able to add that Blue Eyes right back and get a free +1 off that Brilliant Fusion. Yeah, so I'm adding a tuner here. Basically, it looks like I'm going to try and go for another big combo play with that tuner and the Brilliant Fusion. Yeah, you can see I have Return of the Dragon Lords in my hand there as well, so we're going to be looking at a pretty big field here. Against BA, you always want to be looking at making Galaxy Eye Cypher Dragon, which is a new rank 8 that just came out. Basically, you can detach one and then steal one of their an Exceed monster that BA has, and then that is then treated as Galaxy Eye Cypher Dragon, and you can just overlay on that Exceed, which is very good removal against cards like Beatrice and Dante. So if you bait out the Beatrice, you can just steal it, and then overlay on top of it and kind of ignore its effect. So here I sent White Spirit Dragon because I want to get rid of the effect with my Return of the Dragon Lords, so the trap, sorry. And it was just a must change second, so that was no threat anyway. But now my whole board has protection for his next turn, so I won't even lose to Mass Destruction. So it's definitely looking like a very solid turn from my perspective. So I'm checking his grave here just to see if he's going to float into anything relevant, and there's not much there. He's been pretty unlucky with his mills. So here with the level 1 tuner I have the option to go for a Coral Dragon as well, which is a very good card. It just came out. It's just fantastic removal. It gets cards out of your hand which you don't need, like kind of like White Spirit Dragon and stuff that you want to revive later on down the track, and it'll just kind of like get rid of any problems. So here I'm actually making a bit of an unorthodox play. Yeah, I really want to get to that Cypher Dragon, so I use one of my summons to make a Korseska summon, and then I tribute both of those monsters for a normal Blue Eyes. And here I'm making a Cypher play to steal a Dante. So I'm targeting the one with Barbar under it, just because I don't want him to use that down the track, so I'm going to detach it now so it's irrelevant. Yeah, so overlay for full armor and pop the other Dante. So on this turn, only my Galaxy Eye Cypher Dragon can attack, but as I said earlier, it's not about like OTKs against BA generally, it's just about grinding them out. Like Blue Eyes with this build is very strong at grinding, because of your white stones you can constantly just get +1s every turn. Yeah, so here comes the Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter. Dark Matter is generally always a +2 once you summon it. So I'm probably looking at sending a White Stone of Ancients, Legends, and a Maleific here, so I can add it to my hand. Yep. Oh, alternative as well, so I'm doing that just so that I can later on down the track just add back that alternative with a White Stone if I need it. It's basically like kind of like a bit of an unorthodox way of searching your alternative without having a Melody in your hand. So here, I'm just going to swing in for 3000 damage. I'm just checking to see if I can actually attack with Dark Matter, but that's not the case. So my opponent's just banishing 3 of the cards out of the deck. He's doing a Speedroid Calcab, because obviously that's not too useful against Blue Eyes, and a Phantom Knight. He's doing the Phantom Knight so that he can do the Levier play if he draws that card, and then kind of like get a bit of a board going here. Maybe make an F0 to steal with my Dark Matter and bash over the Cypher Dragon. And here end phase I'm triggering a White Stone just to get a White Spirit Dragon. You always want to be going for White Spirit Dragon in the end phase, because it can dodge effects and just special out of Blue Eyes. So if they try to Castell it or anything, you can just tag it out for Blue Eyes in your hand and keep your field presence. Unfortunately, BA doesn't have a too strong turn here. He just has to set one back row and set a monster, so it's just a bit of a desperation play here. And here comes alternative. So yeah, I'm saying this is definitely looking like game here. Yeah, he drew Takentenburg. Unfortunate, and that'll be game. GG.